Okay, guys, so let's. Okay, so I'm back. Let's just start speaking, practicing speaking. In the last, yesterday we just do for like two topics, cause I have some problems. I have some issues that needs to address, which is why that I only practice on like two topics. But today, let's do it for four or five, shall we? Okay. So describe a new store shop. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about a shop that just opened in near my living area, which is Hus Garden Shop, and which is located in Ba Ding District, Hanoi. So the shop is about selling trees in small pots, and it just opened for like it just opened for like I think last month. Yeah, yeah. It organized a grand opening on that day, and I haven't at that time I didn't go to the shop, but I just went there yesterday with a friend of mine. So the reason for me and I have a strong interest for this spray because of the space in here. Yeah, I would say that the space in here is I would say enormous compared to other shops in Hanoi, which is I would say that quite small. Yeah, it'll be small, and when you try to get in those kind of shops, you will have to pay attention to the way you go because everything is so tight. But this shop is much I said it's much bigger. So and also the other reason for me to love this spray is because of the way they design the trees and how many variations of the tree they have. So I would say when it comes to the variation of tree, I would say enormous. Yeah, they have cactus and roses as well as other types of tree. Yeah, and also the way they design the tree in the pot is so adorable, which makes you want it will trigger your sense of nurturing. Yeah, and the other reason for me to love this spray is that the way they do branding for the shop. Because I mean, it is so I would say it's so active and close to the people, and it creates a sense of connecting people with each other. And to me, I will be I will go there in the future so that I will trying to collect more types of trees in my room, my bedroom. So what kinds what kinds of shops are popular in your city? Hmm, let's see. I think that there are kinds of shops that are that are prevalent in Hanoi. That is food and clothes shops. And the main reason for that is because I gotta admit that the law in Vietnam are not really restricting about no, they do not restricting about opening shop or store about food and clothes, which is why that if you go to the street in Vietnam, you will see that there are so many shops in these areas. Yeah, and the police as well as the governments, they do not, I would say they do not notice, pay attention too much about controlling them because deep inside they know that uh, these shops are playing a key role in developing the country's GDP. That is why that these kind of shops are so popular in Hanoi. Uh, so why do young people enjoy going to some boutiques? I would say that it's because they want to, try a lot of clothes as possible. Yeah, that is because those clothing shops have they have a lot of new design. They have various designs in which that trigger the curiosity of young people, and those type of customers are the key are the are the best. I would say that the shops, they know that young people will try to go there to their shops to try their clothes, and then they will then they but they do not buy. But the shops, they are okay with that. They are completely fine with that because they know the young they try to the young who are trying just to wear that clothes and take some picture. Is a best way for the take some picture and post it to social media. Are the kind of customer who will indirectly the advertise the brand. Yeah. So do you think location is a key factor that attract customer? Hmm. In my opinion, I would say that it is a vital factor that makes customer come to the shops, and the main reason for this is because uh, a suitable, I would say, an ideal location will helps you to improve your brand awareness, and as a result, more customers can easily find your location, and so they will they will not find any they will not find any hardship when it comes to finding your shops. And I have met yeah, I used to work in a company in which it is located in a valley, and during my working process, I started to recognize that the majority of customers didn't choose our products and services due to the fact that we are located in a valley, and it frustrated customers to find us, which is why that I believe that key factors sorry the I believe that location is the main factor that attracts customer. I mean, I would say at the top priority. So what is the difference between a small shop and a large one? Okay, so to my point of view, the difference between a small and large shop is due to the recognition, the reputation of them, in which the former, which is the small shop, are less likely to attract customers compared to the latter one. That is yeah, that is because large shops they have always become well known, not just because of their products or service, but because of their the year of experience, the year of working, and then this is one of the factors that customers consider when it comes to choosing products. So in Vietnam, there are a lot of company are the best illustration for this, but uh, I would say that TH True Milk and Dynamic Milk. Uh, those are the two companies. Those are two companies that made products that create products from milk. But TH True Milk, they have been working for like 10 years in more than 10 years in Vietnam. But Dynamic Milk, they are just for like 2 years of working in Vietnam, which is why that customers will be likely will have a tendency to choose TH to milk to drink rather than dynamic milk. So how important are price and quality in influencing consumer behavior? Um, I have to say that these two these two elements have a strong impact in consumer behavior. Yeah. And there are a lot of psychological facts about this in which customers I know that the majority of customers will want kind of product that is it both cheap and have a good quality, but in reality, in reality, we always have to choose one, and the majority of consumer know that. Yeah, if you choose price, then if you choose price, then chances are your behavior is all about you have your behavior is all about save your money as much as possible. That is the consumer behavior if they choose price. But if the behavior is it is the tendency to choose quality, chances are you are kind of like the person who at least is in the status of middle class status. Yeah, and which is why that price and quality will have a strong impact in identifying your social status, which could directly affect consumer behavior. So why is cheap fashion so popular? um, to my point of view, I would say that it is the convenience that cheap fashions bring to customers. Yeah. The main reason for this is because, and the primary reason for this is because cheap fashion is known to design to to design in large quantity in a short period of time, which which could which could meet a huge demand of consumers. So I would say that China would be a great example for this, in which we all know that China has the largest population in the world. Yeah, and the tendency, the predisposition of people when it comes to buying clothes is that they want to choose clothes that is as cheap as possible, because the average money income of Chinese people isn't much. I would say isn't much. It's just about for like uh, 300 to $500, and those and the income though that income it's just it's just able to afford them their daily basis expense, such as like food shelter and traveling, which is why that I believe that cheap fashion is is prevalent, and it will become a trend in the future. So okay, so describe a place you have been to where there were a lot of people. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about a location in which I have used to be there, and has a lot of people, which is Dongki Village. It is my friend's hometown, and it is in Bắc Ninh province, which is about 20 kilometers from Hanoi. And I first visited there last week, and thanks to my friend's introduction. Yeah, and when I first came there, I recognized that the people at uh, there were a huge people in that place who were trying to relax, like, and do exercise, and that triggers my sense of I would say my sense of loving, because I would say that I have a strong interest in the people there, because because of their laid back living, and additionally the atmosphere in that area is a good is one of the attraction to me. Yeah. So people there, I still remember it vividly that they did a lot of exercise. Yeah, they did a lot of exercise because I would say that the local governments out there, had have been, according to my friend was, yeah, the government in his hometown has put a lot of effort in asking people to do more exercise to improve their strength. Yeah, so that is why when you first came there, you will recognize that, uh, oh, you will recognize that there are a huge number of people doing exercise. Like they can literally do it anywhere, even at work. Yeah, I saw that. I went to shops with for like 20 employees, and I can see that I could see that they were just sitting for 20 minutes, and then they will stand up and do exercise for like 5 minutes. Yeah. Mhm. Uh, yeah. Cannon carrying, cannon carrying. So, okay. So where do young people like to go? Hmm, fascinating questions. Let's see. So, um, uh, as far as I know, the majority of young people I have met have a tendency to have a strong tendency to go to, you know, to go travel. Yeah, to go travel abroad. Yeah, in which they want to, visit and understand more about other countries' culture. Yeah, and this become a trend to the young because currently because they know that currently this is the I would say that it is the cultural exchange era and it is the best, and in order to not be left behind, young people will try to open their mind as much as possible by talking to a lot of friends from other countries, as well as to travel to the place, to other people, to other large nations. And I would say that my sister will be a great example for this, in which she is currently for like 18 years old, and she spent for like every 2 months to go to other countries. The last time she traveled to Singapore to understand more about to and that was the final country in her Southeast Asian. Yeah, she went there just to understand how the to find out the differences between Asian countries. I mean Southeast Asian country. Yeah, Southeast Asian countries. Okay. So are people happy living in crowded apartment? Uh, hmm. To be honest, I would say that people are a lot interested in residing in hectic apartments. That is because the apartment is not the place for us to. Is because the nature of apartments is not about being crowded and busy, but it's about being quiet, and respect other people's privacy, which is why that I believe that the majority of people have no love for crowded apartments. Yeah, and the main but there are still a lot of people choose to live in apartment. I know that because of the price. I would say that especially in Hanoi or in Vietnam in general, because in order to possess a real estate in Vietnam, it might take you for like hundreds of years of working, but for apartments it only take you for like 5 to 10 years, which is why that people are not interested in crowded apartments, but they still choose to live there because of the price. Which scenic spot will have queues of people? I would say that beaches would be the best destination that will have a bundle of people, and the main reason for it is because beaches are the you know they have a spectacular view from the I would say the shores, and people will trying to people and it is uh, an attractive destination, especially in summers. So, and according to my experience, I went to a beach in Ho Chi Minh City for like sorry in Da Nang for like 6 months ago, and when I got there, I realized that I could not even I could not even surfing up there because there were a huge a huge bundle of people, and yeah, I would say that my trip was a little bit terrible. So, what are the advantages of living in Haifa? Hmm, interesting question. Um, I would say that hmm, let me see. I would say that the main benefits of living in higher floor is the view that you will perceive. Yeah. The main reason for it is because according to many statistics in Vietnam, the majority of sorry, the majority of people the majority of people choose to are willing to pay more money to live in a high floor apartment. It's because the view they will perceive. Yeah. So the best illustration for this would be my uncle. He's currently living in the 30 floor 30 floor of an apartment in Hanoi, and and this will and living in that high floor has a huge advantage to him, in which in every morning he can goes to the back balcony and have some tea in the morning and looking at the view downside the street. Yeah, it creates a sense of calmness to him, which make him become which makes him less rush or in his days. So what are disadvantages of living on a lower floor? Hmm, let me see. To my point of view, I would say that is the let's see, living in a lower floor. I would say that is the price of it. Yeah, yeah. I would say that is the price, not the price, but the hmm. So what are the disadvantages of living on a lower floor? Hmm. I think that would be about the price. Yeah, you I as I'm I think that would be the price, and the price in which lower floor will have compared to higher floor in which you can I think that would be the scenery you will perceive. Yeah, and I think that would, sorry, I think that would be about the environmental impact that you perceive, in which the majority of it is negative. Yeah. So as I mentioned, so like I said, living in low floor equals to the fact that gain you will of you know in I would say that inhale more air pollution. Yeah, because you live in the lower floor, and you will witness for like a daily traffic jam, and which daily traffic jam, which is why that the gas emissions in on those vehicles will be released, and the lower floors will have to be the first objective to receive objects to receive those gas emissions, which is, I would say, that disadvantages to their health. And I think that this is the reason why they are even this is the reason why they're so minimal. This is the reason why lower floor are often cheaper than higher one. hmm So okay. So what do you think of the phenomenon of people queuing in restaurants for more than an hour? Hmm. Um, I think that is, in my opinion, I consider it commonplace. Yeah, I would say that it is commonplace because I mean, people waiting there for there are so many people waiting in the restaurants in a long time is ordinary because that could illustrates the fact that the restaurant is well known and has a high quality. Yeah, and has a high quality that attracts a huge bundle of customers. So to me, I used to went to a five-star restaurant in which on that day I would say that I was a little bit unfortunate. There were a lot of customers come to that day as well, and I had to wait for like an hour and a half just to having my dinner, just to having for like my dinner in 30 minutes. But but after having but after experiencing the dinner, I started to recognize that my time spending for waiting with other people are was worthy because the food was, I would say, that was wonderful. It was wonderful, and it deserves my waiting. Yeah, which is why I believe that even though which is why I believe that people when you're waiting queuing for like queuing in restaurants for a long time is ordinary. So describe a book that you have read many times. Okay. Okay, so today I am going to talk about a book that I have read for many times. I would say that I read it for like every years, which is You Are Not So Smart. So this book I have bought it for like 6 years ago, and the genre of it is about psychology. And as I mentioned before, I read it every year. Yeah, I read it for like 1 to 2 times every year. And the main themes of this book is about biases and fallacy of humans. Yeah. So it aims to, I would say that it aims to help people to do discovers more about themselves, and which we will deeply comprehend our actions and our thoughts, and those are the reasons that I have a strong interest in this book. I love it. I mean, I also a huge fan of this book and his the authors of it. Yeah. And I would say that the la- and one of the biases, yeah, one of the biases about this book that I love the most is the backfire effects, in which in and I don't know how many times I have read I have read and studied about this effect, but it was spectacular, in which this effects explain to us that we will people will have tendency to people will have to have a tendency to hold their views, even though they know that their views are wrong. Yeah, and and the more other people's trying to prove to them that their views are wrong, the more firmly they will try to hold that to try to hold it. Yeah, which and it is crazy. And after reading that, I mean, I I broadened when every time I finish reading that, I mean, there was a feeling of broadening my horizons. Yeah. Okay. So What kinds of books do children like to read and why? To me, I would say that comics will be the the top priority genre of books that children would read if they have to choose. If they had to choose, yeah, this is because comics are usually comics has a lot of text, sorry, has a lot of images, and which could help children to visualize the the situations, yeah, the situation and the process of the story, and additionally it could help them to improve their imagination, which is why that they love to read comics. And my younger sister are a huge fan of this genre of books. uh, so what can children learn from books? Let's see. In my opinion, I would say that the lesson life will, useful lessons about life will be the main. I would say it will be the main things that children learn from reading books. Uh, this is because children are, I would say that children are susceptible to the society in which I would say they can be easily influenced by other people, and by letting them reading books, they will have to face, they will learn how to deal with the situations without without experiencing in real life. And and there are a lot of research about this in which they let people to read books before dealing with the situations, and compared to those who do not read the books and still face with the situation. As a result, those who read books first confront the situations much better compared to those who do not read. Mhm. So, do people prefer to read ebooks or printed book in your country? I would say the latter will be the main trend, the main trend in Vietnam, which is printed book. And the main reason for it is because ebooks in Vietnam, only young people will read it. Yeah, only young people read it, and even in the young, only a small group of them would choose ebooks. And even me, I am not a huge fan of ebooks because to me, reading books on a tablet, on a smartphone, and even though it is convenient, but it is not good for my eyes, because uh, as we all know, reading books, when we use electronic devices, we will perceive more blue light, yeah, and this could play a huge role in impairing our vision, which is why that the majority of people in Vietnam which will still prefer printed book to ebooks. So do you think people need to develop the habit of reading, and why? Uh, to my point of view, I would say that yes, people must develop it, not need to, but must develop the habit of reading. That is because in this contemporary era, people are I would say people are addicted to smartphones for entertainment rather than reading. And the main reason for that is because uh, reading is just like when you doing exercise. It's just like when you do exercise, you will not feel better right at the time you do exercise, but after you're doing the exercise. Yeah. But when it comes to when it comes to entertainment, like watching TikTok or playing video games, it is just like when you eat foods, you can satisfy yourself immediately, which is why that people uh, choose to surf internet more than reading books. And this at in long term, it could affect their brain. Yeah, it could badly affect their brain, like such as people will become less patient. Yeah, those who are using, phones more will be less patient, more than those who read more. And I mean, this even have been shown by many research. So, do you think reading books can make you happier? Hmm. Um, to me, to my point of view, I would say that it doesn't make people feel happier, but it will definitely make people feel smarter. That is and I believe that that is the key, the key objective of books. Yeah, I mean, even Albert Einstein used to say that if you stop reading, that means that that means your intelligence is started to decline. Yeah, so to me, um, and I believe that the majority of success businessmen read books every day, and and there are a huge number of them even share on social media that reading books um, doesn't help you to feel happier, but it will definitely makes you smarter, could makes you, which could enable you to avoid things that make you sad. Yeah. So do you think ebook will make people read more, and why? Uh, to be honest, I am not a huge fan of ebooks, so because it just because reading on a tablet or electronic devices will make me become more distracted, which is why that ebook will not be a trend in the future. Yeah, and as I mentioned, so like I said, it will make people distract more. It will make people distract more, and my sister will be, best illustration for this, in which she asked my mom to buy her a tablet so that she can read book for like anytime, anywhere. But as a result, when my mom bought her a tablet, yeah, when my mom bought her the tablet, she didn't read, but instead she just, surfing the TikTok and Facebook, which makes her, which I mean, which negatively affect her brain. As a result, therefore my mom even had to, take the tablet and give her take the tablet and took the tablet and asked her to read books, printed books. So I believe that ebook will not make people read more, but instead it will have the contrast result. It will resolve contrastly.